YouTube made yet another update to its terms and conditions, and for this year, I think that's the third one so far. It's a lot of information to keep up on, but this one has to do with Coppa, which is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Now, because there's such harsh consequences for violating this, not just for the Federal Trade Commission, which we'll talk about in a minute, but on YouTube itself, I've had a flood of content creators contacting my law office to get a little bit of help. So because of that, and keeping it in mind, today we're dedicating this video to discussing how to comply with Coppa. Hi guys, I'm Miss Krystle. I'm an entertainment attorney and public speaker. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent musician. So jumping right into this video, the first thing of course we have to keep in mind is that violating Coppa, violating YouTube terms and conditions is gonna get us strikes on our channel, on our videos, and in a worst case scenario might actually get our channels deleted. That's no good. But you have to additionally keep in mind the fact that this is all being implemented by the Federal Trade Commission, and a single violation, one video violating Coppa, can get you a strike of $42,530. So because of all this, we want to make sure that you are in fact complying with Coppa. Now, the reason that content creators are contacting my office is because there's a handful of things that happen when you designate a video as made for kids. That's going to include things like now, you can't add end screens, cards to the videos, viewers can't comment, they can't turn on bell notifications to get reminded about your weekly videos, and so there's quite a few downsides to designating your videos as made for kids. Probably the most important one though, and the reason why content creators are contacting my office is because it impacts your ability to now advertise on your videos. So for my creators who make a livelihood on releasing regularly and getting monetization on their videos, they're now potentially going to lose that ability. So this is a huge deal for a lot of my YouTubers. So let's jump into kind of what happens. If someone contacts my office, we essentially have to do an initial analysis of that particular person's channel. So this is what you can and should be doing yourself even before you get in touch with an attorney who might be able to, let's say, put together an opinion letter, and so you might be able to use that in the instance you actually do get some kind of strike by not just YouTube, but the Federal Trade Commission. So first, you have to understand that when we say made for kids, the definition of kids is going to be anyone under the age of 13. So the Federal Trade Commission has provided some guidelines for helping us understand what kind of content basically is going to be designated as made for kids. And so think about it in two different categories. In one category, it absolutely clearly is made for children under the age of 13. So that's easy, we're just going to set that aside. On the other hand, where we get into now this kind of gray area is based on factors that the Federal Trade Commission has provided. So even if you don't necessarily intend that your content is made for children under the age of 13, if you nonetheless satisfy enough of these factors, your content may need to be required really to be designated as made for kids. So let's go through those factors. Subject matter of the video, such as educational content for preschoolers, whether children are your intended or actual audience, whether the video includes child actor or models, whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children. Guys, this is an important one, so pay attention to that one. Whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand, whether the video includes activities that appeal to children, and whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems for children. One of my clients, who is a huge content creator on YouTube and has a really substantial following, had kind of an interesting dilemma with this, because the type of content absolutely includes a particular product, a particular toy that is appealing to children, but the type of content, it's very sophisticated and it's very education-based, not intended for a young audience. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even think, let's say a 12-year-old would be able to really understand what was being discussed in these particular videos. But of course, this includes a holistic review of the entire channel. So while predominantly I didn't believe that the content would be appealing or should be designated as made for kids, there were still a couple of videos that as I went through, I made a note. And this was my guidance, right? So you can set at the channel level whether your channel is essentially made for kids and that's the kind of content that you make. But you can also go and should go into each individual video and actually make that determination. So in this particular instance, on a global scale, the channel, I don't believe, was, including made for kids content. But I did find a video or two that I thought kind of was now closer to the line. And the reason why it's important just to really look at those videos closely is because at this point, I would not put it past the Federal Trade Commission to want to put some of these larger content creators kind of on the stage and make them the example. And so with this particular client, again, we're looking at a potential fine of over $40,000. It's a big deal. And so while I can't go and make those individual designations, I can certainly give advice and just say, look, this is way closer to the line. I think we have a couple of factors here that do not play well. And so at the end of the day, you have to make the best decision for you. And what kind of helps is that if you have taken the time to consult with an entertainment attorney that can give you that kind of analysis and maybe even an opinion letter. So if you do happen to receive some kind of strike or you get a letter from the Federal Trade Commission, now you're in a position where you actually have taken a step to try to understand, to try to make a designation to be able to comply. And that's certainly going to help if you do unfortunately get into a mess. And something else I want you guys to keep in mind is that you should look at your analytics for your channel as well. This is not going to be the overcoming factor by any means, but this is something that still plays into the analysis of, what is your content geared towards? Is it made for kids or not? And so look, generally, the age range and maybe even take screenshots, right? So you'll be able to look at that history and those analytics as you kind of go along. But it's really prudent to kind of look at it right now and just try to weigh all the factors together, look at the actual channel analytics, and you're going to be putting yourself in a really better position, particularly if something kind of goes awry and you do end up getting some kind of notice from either YouTube or the FTC. Now that we've taken a little bit of time to discuss Coppa, discuss some of the factors that you guys need to keep in mind, make sure you actually go to your channel level, set your channel accordingly, and then start going through the individual videos. I know it's a huge pain in the butt. For a lot of my YouTubers, you guys have hundreds of videos, sometimes thousands of videos. It's a massive amount of work, but you want to make sure you're starting those steps now. So I'm going to leave some links down in the description below, and hopefully you guys will find those helpful. Don't forget to come and say hi on social media, because why not? I'm the most active on Instagram, and it's been amazing to meet you guys because, like I said, we've been receiving so many inquiries and just questions to get some help, and understanding that maybe not everyone's ready to take that next step to hire an entertainment attorney. Hopefully you got some information from this video to kind of get you a step further and to help you understand how you can comply with Coppa and hopefully avoid some issues down the road. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you get notified every time we release our weekly videos. I'm Miss Krystle, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.